That was a hard one. Hi guys, welcome back. Moving on, because I got two more and then a few more actually. Um, I'm going to talk about my great grandmothers, Grandma Aguilar and White Granny, or Granny Whitehouse. Um, didn't really get to know either one of them very well. And Uncle Lynch, I want to talk about you too. Didn't get to know any of them very well. I can just remember my Granny Whitehouse with her white hair being very frail, and I think with a walker. And Uncle Lynch was born paralyzed like this and was all his life, and it was a lot of people made fun of him. I never made fun of him. I was scared of him as a child, but I run into people like that every day now, and I embrace them because when you're a kid, you don't understand some things. But when I wasn't there when he died, but they said when he died, his body went limp and unfolded, and that's how we know that God had healed him and released him and took him to heaven. The one I do want to talk about is my Grandma Aguilar, which is my grandma's grandma, or my grandma's mama. I don't know how old I was, but I've seen someone die in my life. And that was my grandma. And this is at Medical Center Hospital. I was probably 6 or 7 years old, and older than that. They were feeding her, and she was on in a hospital, and she was up and talking and stuff, and sitting in the bed, I think. But I remember that she choked on a grape, and they called for the nurse, and the nurses came, and she ended up dying in front of all of us. And I watched her choke and take her last breath. And this is where everyone thinks that I'm crazy, because I found out that I'm now talking to my deceased grandfather on a level that I can't explain. But I watched my grandmother, my great-grandmother, die. And at the time that she died, everyone was freaking out. And I was in the corner, laughing and giggling, literally like this, like. And I forgot about this until I had my awakening recently. That everyone else saw Grandma die, and I saw Grandma die, get up and walk to the other side of the room. And I remember this because I remember that I could see my grandmother even though she had passed away. And so I know that I have medium capabilities that I had long buried after that. And now they're coming back to me on a level that I can't explain. But now I'm talking to my deceased grandfather. And I can see him too. I haven't seen my Uncle Eddie yet, but I hope and pray that I will. And then when my grandfather died, I don't remember what my great-grandmother said. But I remember that my Aunt Gayla was near me. People were trying to get me out of the room, and I didn't want to leave because I was in the room with Grandma and I was in the corner with her. But fast forward 10 years later down the road, my grandfather gets sick and he gets hospitalized. And him and my great-grandmother hated each other the majority of their lives. He hated her, she despised him, because the mother and the daughter and all that bullcrap. Well, when he was hospitalized, he was put in the exact same room that she died in. And when I went to visit my grandfather, I wouldn't go in the room because I could see my grandmother, my great-grandmother, standing at the edge of his bed. And I didn't know what that meant. And I didn't know if she was doing that to him. I didn't know. I don't know. I still don't know. I think that she was trying to. I think after that, my grandpa became a more loving man for sure. He stopped beating up on my grandma, and I think my great grandmother came down and told him that if you don't straighten up, you're gonna die. She probably told him that you're gonna die in so many days and so many years from now, and that he needed to cherish his life. And he became a more loving man. He welcomed his gay nephews into his life. We were allowed to go around him and him still love us and kiss us instead of feeling awkward. I didn't feel awkward around my grandfather anymore. So I know for a fact that there is life after death. People think that we die and that our spirit stays in our body, and it doesn't, because I've seen it firsthand. I saw my grandmother die and her body walk and talk to me in a corner. I didn't watch my grandfather die. Actually, I did. Oh my God. My brother pulled the cord on my grandfather because he was a nurse. OMG, how many people am I going to watch die? Ugh, it makes me mad. But it gets me closer to them. I know that's why I have such a connection with them. I believe that my brother has a connection with my grandfather that he doesn't know about. You pulled the plug on him. Grandpa has to talk to you somehow. Because he talks to me. And he talks to me because he knows I can talk to Grandma. So I've watched 2 people in my life die. So for a fact for that, I know that that this is just life and it's all a game, and we have to figure it out, and that when people die you shouldn't be sad. Even though you get emotional and you miss them in a physical aspect, they're not gone, because I've seen them. I have literally seen them. I just want everyone to get inspired again. They say when you die, you should be joyful because you're going to meet Creator, and it's the truth. You go and you meet God. You don't go to hell. You go to God. Everyone dies and goes to God. There's no such thing as hell. When you realize that hell is where we're at and we're trying to get to heaven, then you'll wake up, because there's nothing worse than what we're already in. A world that's divided and hates each other from the color of their skin, or the way, or who they love. This is hell. This is hell on earth. And I watched my great grandmother ascend to heaven. The way that they talk about how Jesus went up. I watched this woman die and literally walk and talk to me in a corner. And then great grandmother, I ask of you of all nights tonight, if you will talk to me tonight in my dreams and let me know what you said, because I know that that was real. And Grandpa, I know that there was a reason that you landed in her room, and I know that you can talk to me too. And Uncle Eddie, I know that you can hear me too. And Granny Whitehouse, I can just see you in this I want to say navy blue pantsuit. Or baby blue pantsuit. I don't know. Maybe it was pajamas. But I can see you with a walker and this pantsuit. I know I can see you with tennis balls on the bottom. That for sure, I think I remember. What I've learned from you women is to grow old and to enjoy life and to not fear death. For I know that we all go to the other side. So for that, I'm truly thankful. God bless and love you all. Can't wait to see you again.